Johnny Depp's real-life acts of kindness that will restore your faith in humanity. Johnny Depp had always been an enigmatic figure, known for his unforgettable roles, quirky personality, and the many rumors that surrounded him. There was one thing that often went unnoticed in the chaos of fame: his profound kindness. Beneath the headlines, the red carpets, and the flashes of cameras, Johnny had always found ways to give back, sometimes in the most unexpected ways. It was an ordinary afternoon when Sarah, a single mother, found herself standing outside a cafe, her mind clouded with worry. Her daughter Lily had been diagnosed with a serious illness, and the medical bills were piling up faster than she could manage. The small insurance coverage she had barely made a dent, and she had started considering options that no parent should ever have to. The stress was overwhelming, the uncertainty unbearable. As she stood there, her phone buzzed with another message from the hospital. She read it, then stared blankly into the street, trying to hold back the tears. She had no idea where the next step would take her, or if there even was a next step. In that moment, something strange happened. "Excuse me, miss, are you all right?" Sarah looked up in surprise. Standing in front of her was none other than Johnny Depp, dressed casually in a denim jacket and sunglasses. She blinked, not believing what she was seeing. Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp was talking to her. I'm fine," Sarah said, fumbling with her words, not quite understanding why he was there, in front of her. But Johnny wasn't about to let her off the hook. He studied her face with a gentle, kind gaze. "You don't seem fine," he said. "Is there something you need?" "I can help if I can." She almost laughed. It sounded too surreal. The famous actor, known for playing Jack Sparrow and Willy Wonka, was offering to help her, someone he'd never met, without even knowing what was wrong. Without thinking, Sarah found herself pouring out everything: the diagnosis, the fear, the financial struggles. Johnny listened intently, nodding, his expression thoughtful. When she finished, there was a long silence between them. "You're a good mother," he said softly, "and you shouldn't have to go through this alone." Johnny paused for a moment, as though weighing something in his mind. Then, without another word, he reached into his pocket and pulled out his phone. "I know people who can help," he said. "You'll get a call in the next few hours. Just stay positive." Sarah didn't know what to say. She could barely grasp the reality of the situation. Within hours, she received a call from a foundation that Johnny Depp was involved with, an organization that helped families struggling with medical bills. They offered to cover the costs of Lily's treatment for as long as necessary. The weight on Sarah's shoulders, which had felt insurmountable, was suddenly lifted. The stress, the worry, the sleepless nights, it all seemed to fade away. But the story didn't end there. Over the next few months, Johnny kept in touch, sending messages of encouragement to Sarah, checking in on Lily's progress. His kindness was not a one-time gesture, but a sustained effort to make a difference in her life. And it wasn't just her life that Johnny touched. Across the world, there were countless stories like Sarah's, stories of people who'd found themselves in moments of crisis and had been helped by Johnny Depp, not because he sought recognition, but because he genuinely cared. There was the time he anonymously paid for a hospital bill for a young mother in need. The time he surprised a fan with a heartwarming visit while she was recovering from surgery. And even the times he spent hours talking to fans outside his home, just to listen to their stories and offer advice. Each act of kindness, big or small, left an imprint on the lives of those he touched. Johnny never expected anything in return. He didn't need the accolades or the headlines. To him, the true reward was seeing the smiles on people's faces, the hope that his small gestures could spark something greater. But it wasn't just random acts of kindness that defined him. Johnny believed deeply in causes that resonated with him. He often worked behind the scenes, contributing to charitable organizations, funding children's hospitals, and standing up for causes like animal rights and environmental preservation. One particular day, a young girl named Emily, who had spent months in a children's hospital battling cancer, received a surprise visitor. She was lying in her bed, too weak to move, when she heard a soft knock at the door. "Who is it?" Emily's mother asked, surprised at the knock. "Just me," came a familiar voice. Johnny Depp stepped into the room, dressed as Captain Jack Sparrow. The girl's eyes widened in disbelief. It wasn't a dream. It was really him. Johnny spent hours with Emily, reading her favorite books, playing games, and simply talking to her about her dreams. The visit lifted her spirits in ways the doctors couldn't explain, and Emily's recovery was swift after that. She was able to go home a few weeks later, carrying with her a story of kindness that would stay with her forever. Johnny Depp's acts of personal kindness were never about publicity. They were about connection, about showing people that, no matter how small, an act of kindness could change a life. He didn't need to broadcast it because the impact was always far greater than the recognition. To those who truly knew him, Johnny Depp was not just a Hollywood star. He was a man with a heart full of compassion, a man who would go out of his way to help someone in need without a second thought.